All right, let's talk. QuantumScape, ticker symbol TQGellers. They're really making waves in the EV battery world, right?
Yeah, their stock's been on a tear. Jumped over 12% just yesterday, December 26th.
It's impressive. And the buzz is all about their work on solid-state batteries. Like, that's the holy grail of EV tech for a lot of
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Their latest innovation, this heat treatment tool they're calling Cobra, has investors, really paying attention. So we're going to break down what's behind QuantumScape's stock performance, get into the details of this Cobra, and figure out if this company is worth keeping an eye on, even if you're not like glued to the EV market all the time.
Right. It's interesting because they're not just trying to make existing batteries a little bit better. They're going after something that could change, like, fundamentally how we power electric vehicles.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So let's jump in. QuantumScape announces this Cobra tool, and boom, the stock takes off. So why is a heat treatment tool such a big deal?
Well, to get that, you need to understand how complex it is to make these solid-state batteries, especially the separators. They're essential, but incredibly difficult to produce, like at scale, with the precision and consistency you need. That's where Cobra comes in.
Okay.
It's designed to optimize the process for these separators, their QSE-5 product in particular.
So it's not just about making more, it's about making them better, more efficiently.
Exactly. Cobra is tackling a big bottleneck in the production of these batteries, and that could have a huge impact on their cost and scalability. Investors see this as a key step to bringing solid-state batteries to the mainstream.
So is this Cobra the key to finally making it happen?
That's the million-dollar question. The potential is definitely there, but, solid-state batteries have been the next big thing for a while. Mass production, that's been the hurdle.
Yeah. For those of us who aren't battery experts, can you give us like a quick explanation of solid-state batteries and why everyone's so excited?
Sure. Think of it this way. An EV battery with a way longer range charges way faster than what we have now, and potentially safer too. That's the promise of solid state.
Wow.
They do this by replacing the liquid or gel electrolyte in a regular lithium-ion battery with a solid one.
And that makes all the difference.
A huge difference. That solid electrolyte means you can pack more power into the same space, so longer range for EVs. And it's more stable, so it can handle faster charging without, the risk of overheating.
So why aren't we all driving around with these already? What's the catch?
Mass production, like I said. Manufacturing these batteries on a large scale with the quality and consistency they need, it's complex and expensive. QuantumScape and others are in a race to solve that.
So QuantumScape's trying to crack that code with things like this Cobra tool.
Mm-hmm.
But are they on the right track? What does their financial situation look like?
Well, that's where it gets a little more complicated. You've got analysts predicting rapid revenue growth, almost 80% annually, which shows the potential of the market. But
There's always a but.
right now, they're not profitable. And forecasts say they'll stay that way for a bit.
So investors are betting on their future success, basically.
Exactly. They're pouring money into research and development, scaling up production, which is essential for growth in the long term. But it also means they're spending a lot of cash right now, and that's leading to some big losses.
That's a good point for our listeners to consider. Would you be comfortable investing in a company with such huge potential, but also, a lot of uncertainty? Where do you stand on that risk-reward spectrum?
Yeah, it all comes down to your own strategy and how much risk you're willing to take. But it's important to remember QuantumScape isn't alone in this solid-state battery game. There are others, big and small, all wanting a piece of this huge potential market.
It's true, the competition is fierce. You've got those established battery companies, even the big car makers, putting resources into this. So how does QuantumScape stand out? What makes them different?
Well, their partnership with Volkswagen, specifically with PowerCo, their battery subsidiary, that's a big deal. It gives them access to, the resources and expertise of one of the top automotive groups in the world.
Yeah, that's a serious vote of confidence. And that $130 million prepayment from Volkswagen really says something. But beyond the partnership, what about the technology itself? What sets it apart?
Their focus on a specific type of solid-state battery, one that uses a lithium metal anode. That's key. Lithium metal has the potential for even higher energy density, which means longer range for those electric vehicles.
So they're going for the best possible performance, but usually higher performance means bigger challenges, right?
Absolutely. These lithium metal anodes are, they're tricky to work with. They tend to form dendrites, these tiny structures that can cause short circuits, even battery failure. QuantumScape is trying to overcome that through their materials and manufacturing processes.
It sounds like they're pushing the limits while also making sure their advancements are, actually usable in the real world.
Exactly, and that brings us back to the financials we talked about. Investors will be watching to see how they handle those losses as they scale up production, work towards those revenue targets.
And their earnings reports haven't been great, right?
True, their Q3 earnings for 2024 showed a loss, EPS of $0.23, which actually missed what analysts were expecting. But like we said, they're still investing heavily, putting a lot into research, development, building out their production capacity.
So the losses aren't totally unexpected. It's more about when they'll become profitable, right?
Okay.
How long can they keep this up before investors start demanding to see results?
That's the big question. Investors want to see real progress towards mass production, revenue coming in. They need proof that QuantumScape's technology isn't just a cool idea, but a real solution that can be sold.
So it's about balancing that innovation with actually getting things done. They need to keep pushing the boundaries, but also show they can deliver on their promises.
And they have to do all this in a very competitive market that's changing all the time. New companies popping up, existing battery makers stepping up their game.
Sounds like a race to the finish line, with a lot at stake.
Yeah.
Who are some of the big competitors QuantumScape needs to worry about?
Well, there's Solid Power, another solid-state battery developer. They've partnered with big car companies too, like Ford and BMW. They're using a slightly different approach, a sulfide-based electrolyte. And they're already sending sample cells to their partners.
So they're ahead in terms of actually getting their product out there.
In a way, yes. But QuantumScape argues that their lithium metal tech has higher performance potential. And then there's Samsung, a huge name in batteries. They're putting a lot into solid state, too, using their massive manufacturing power to try and lower costs and scale up production.
Wow, QuantumScape's got a fight on their hands,
Yeah.
going up against some of the biggest players.
It's a bit of a David and Goliath situation, yeah. But QuantumScape has attracted a lot of investment. They have those big partnerships, and their technology is generating a lot of excitement.
So it's a battle of innovation, strategy, who can actually make things happen.
Exactly, and no one knows how it'll end. But for investors, it could be a chance to get in early on, something that could really disrupt the whole energy sector.
High risk, high reward, that's for sure. Makes you think about the bigger picture, right? Like, if QuantumScape or any of these companies really make solid-state batteries happen, what does that change?
It's huge. We're not just talking about EVs that are a little better. This could change how we think about energy storage, like everywhere.
So what would that world look like? Solid-state batteries everywhere, what changes?
Imagine electric cars that can go as far as gas cars, or even farther.
Mm.
Imagine charging in minutes, not hours. No more range anxiety. That's a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's not just cars, right? You mentioned other things this tech could be used for.
Oh, absolutely. Think about your phone, your laptop, your tablet. Solid-state batteries could make their batteries last way longer, charge super fast.
Like a phone that lasts for days.
Exactly. Or a laptop that fully charges in just a few minutes.
Hard to imagine.
And it goes beyond that. This could be a big deal for renewable energy storage. Make solar and wind power more reliable by storing that extra energy they make when the sun's shining or the wind's blowing.
So we could use it when we need it, even if the sun's not out or the wind's not blowing.
Right.
Wow, so many possibilities.
It really could change a lot of industries.
And that's what makes it so interesting, right? From a tech standpoint and for investors.
Definitely. It's full of innovation, competition, and the potential for groundbreaking advancements.
Okay, so for our listeners who are thinking about investing,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway here?
QuantumScape, it's high risk, high reward. They're in a market that's moving fast, lots of challenges, lots of unknowns. But if their tech works and they can pull it off, the payoff could be huge.
So, as always, do your research, know how much risk you're comfortable with.
Make smart decisions based on your own goals.
But QuantumScape is definitely a company to watch. Well, that about wraps up our look at QuantumScape. We covered a lot, from their stock going up and this Cobra tech to the challenges and opportunities they face in the world of solid-state batteries.
It's been a great conversation. Always fun to look at companies pushing the limits, potentially changing big industries.
We hope you found this informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk podcast for more deep dives on interesting companies and investment ideas.
And share this episode with anyone who might be interested in electric vehicles, batteries, or just, cool new companies.
We love hearing from you, so leave a comment with your thoughts on QuantumScape. What do you think their future holds? Until next time, happy investing.